Do you feel sleepy right after eating? 2 hours after a meal, do you feel intense hunger again? The answer is simple. Change what you eat. Shift from high GI foods to low GI foods, and move toward a dietary pattern rich in fiber. Why does this work? This slide explains it all. When you eat refined white rice or bread, your blood sugar spikes rapidly. This is what a high glycemic index, a high GI, looks like in your body. Your body responds as if it's an emergency, flooding your system with insulin. That insulin drives your blood sugar down sharply. When your blood sugar drops, your brain sends out an alarm. We're running out of energy. That's why, just 2 hours after eating, intense hunger hits again. What happens when this cycle repeats every single day? Your pancreas, the organ responsible for secreting insulin, faces chronic, relentless stress. Insulin resistance rises, and your risk of metabolic disease climbs with it. This is a well-documented finding. Studies consistently show this pattern in post-meal blood sugar and insulin responses. That said, long-term disease risk involves multiple factors. Your overall diet, body weight, and activity levels all play a role. GI is one important tool in that picture. And here's what matters. This is within your control. Swap white rice for brown rice or ancient grains. Replace refined bread with whole grain bread. These changes will transform your blood sugar control. Today, let me show you the science behind this. What exactly is the glycemic index, the GI? In 1981, Dr. Jenkins and his colleagues at the University of Toronto published this concept in a landmark paper. It appeared in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, a groundbreaking metric that quantified the physiological impact of carbohydrates. GI measures how quickly and how high a food raises your blood sugar. More precisely, it's the area under the 2-hour blood glucose response curve after consuming 50 grams of available carbohydrates, expressed as a percentage relative to pure glucose. The reference point is glucose, pure sugar water. Glucose has a GI of 100. Everything else is measured against that benchmark. High GI is 70 or above. White rice averages a GI of 73, but Japanese short-grain varieties often climb even higher, frequently exceeding 80. White bread comes in around 75 and potatoes around 78. Low GI is 55 or below. Brown rice sits at around 55. Oatmeal is around 55. An apple comes in at about 36. There's an important caveat here. GI values can vary significantly for the same food depending on variety, milling degree, cooking method, and processing conditions. Treat the numbers I give you as reference points, not absolutes. But these differences in numbers create decisive differences in your body. So what's actually happening inside your body after you eat high GI foods? Once you understand this mechanism, it becomes clear why high GI eating is a problem. First, high GI foods digest extremely quickly. Within 30 to 60 minutes after eating, your blood sugar spikes sharply. Your pancreas fires back with a massive surge of insulin to counter this blood sugar spike. That insulin pulls your blood sugar down hard. After that sharp drop, hunger can intensify. But the mechanism is not straightforward. Beyond insulin fluctuations, the secretion patterns of gut hormones, GLP-1 and GIP among them, combine with the rate at which your stomach empties its contents to create conditions where appetite surges again. So you eat again. Blood sugar spikes. Insulin surges. The cycle repeats. When this cycle continues year after year, chronic stress accumulates in your pancreas. Insulin sensitivity declines and insulin resistance builds. This is the gateway to elevated metabolic disease risk. That post-meal fatigue you feel, the brain fog, the afternoon slump. One contributing factor may be this disruption in your blood sugar regulation system. Watermelon has a high GI. Does that mean I should never eat it? You're probably wondering exactly that. This is where glycemic load GL enters the picture. GI has one key limitation. It measures blood sugar response per 50 grams of available carbohydrates, but it doesn't account for how much you actually eat. Glycemic load solves this problem. The formula is straightforward. GL equals GI times actual grams of available carbohydrates consumed divided by 100. This gives you a far more accurate picture of a food's real-world impact on your blood sugar. Let's use watermelon as an example. Watermelon has a GI of 72, that's high GI territory. But watermelon is mostly water. A 4-ounce serving of watermelon contains only about 11 grams of available carbohydrates. Run the numbers. GL equals 72 times 11 divided by 100 equals approximately 8. A GL of 10 or below is classified as low GL. So watermelon is high GI, but low GL. Its actual impact on your blood sugar in a real meal is limited. Now compare that to a cup of cooked white rice. GI of 73, with approximately 33 grams of available carbohydrates. GL equals 73 times 33 divided by 100 equals approximately 24. That classifies as high GL. Keep in mind that the carbohydrate content of white rice varies by variety and how much water is absorbed during cooking. When calculating GL, always check the actual carbohydrate content of the specific food you're eating. Judging foods by GI alone is incomplete. GL, which accounts for actual portion size, gives you a far more practical decision-making tool. Here's a critical fact you need to understand. The GI of a food is not fixed. Your blood sugar response shifts dramatically based on how you eat. The first strategy, combine your food with fiber. Eat your vegetables first. This single habit changes your blood sugar response. Viscous dietary fiber slows the diffusion and absorption of sugar in your digestive tract. Beyond that, dietary fiber naturally stimulates the release of GLP-1, an appetite-suppressing hormone. You stay fuller longer and hunger before your next meal diminishes. Unlike injectable medications, this is a mechanism you can activate naturally through food. The second strategy, combine carbohydrates with protein and fat. Eating carbohydrates in isolation is the fastest route to a blood sugar spike. Pair them with eggs, fish, or olive oil, and your stomach empties more slowly, leading to gentler, more gradual sugar absorption. The third strategy, optimize your cooking method. Cook pasta al dente, and its GI lands around 40 to 50. Overcook it until it's soft, and the GI can climb to 60 to 70. Same pasta, same ingredients. Cooking time alone changes your blood sugar response. The fourth strategy, cool and reheat your carbs. When cooked rice is chilled, resistant starch, a type of starch that resists digestion, can increase. Under the right conditions, chilled rice can produce a lower blood sugar response than freshly cooked rice. The degree of this effect, however, depends on the specific cooling and reheating conditions. Same food, different approach, better blood sugar control. So what actually happens when you commit to a low GI, high-fiber dietary pattern over time? Let's look at the data. In 2019, Livesey and colleagues published a large-scale meta-analysis in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, the AJCN. This analysis, which pooled findings across multiple studies, shows that low GI and low GL dietary patterns are associated with lower risk of developing type 2 diabetes. It's important to note, this association reflects research on overall dietary patterns. It cannot be stated as a direct causal effect of GI alone. What about cardiovascular disease? Cohort studies, including Harvard's Nurses' Health Study, have suggested a link between high GL dietary patterns and cardiovascular disease risk. The magnitude of this effect varies across study conditions and populations, so treat individual numbers as reference points rather than definitive figures. Now let me share a revolutionary finding. In 2015, a study by Dr. Zevi and colleagues was published in the journal Cell. When approximately 800 participants ate identical foods, researchers found dramatic individual differences in blood sugar responses. The primary drivers of this variation, differences in gut microbiome composition and differences in insulin sensitivity. In other words, average GI values are your starting point, but your body's actual response may be entirely different. To address this individual variation, continuous glucose monitors, CGMs, are gaining serious attention. A sensor worn on your skin measures your blood sugar in real time, 24 hours a day. In 2024, the FDA approved a CGM available without a prescription, and these devices are rapidly entering the mainstream as personal health management tools. Having your own body data is the most precise path to blood sugar control. Now let's bring today's key points together. Here's your summary. First, use GI and GL as tools to elevate the overall quality of your dietary pattern. Choosing low GI foods is a proven strategy. Brown rice over white rice, whole grain bread over refined bread. These foods are generally less processed and tend to carry lower GI values. Keep in mind that GI values shift with variety and cooking conditions, so use them as guidelines, not rules. Even more reliable, increase your intake of whole grains, legumes, vegetables, and fruits, foods rich in fiber with minimal processing, and stabilize your blood sugar through the overall quality of your diet. GI is one powerful scientific tool to guide that decision-making. Second, control your GI through how you eat. The same food can produce dramatically different blood sugar responses depending on your approach. Eat your vegetables first. Pair your carbohydrates with protein and fat. Cook pasta al dente. These habits improve your blood sugar control without changing a single ingredient. And fiber naturally stimulates GLP-1, your appetite-suppressing hormone, extending satiety and keeping hunger at bay. Don't overhaul your entire diet. Start by changing how you eat. Third, own your body data. Blood sugar responses to the same food vary dramatically from person to person. Your gut microbiome and insulin sensitivity are driving that variation. Population-wide guidelines are your starting point. CGMs are now available without a prescription. Seeing exactly what your own body responds to in real data is the cutting edge of blood sugar management. Every day, you make multiple food choices. Each one is a fork in the road. You're either supporting your blood sugar regulation system or disrupting it. Share your strategy in the comments below. Thanks for investing in your health today. Master your blood sugar, and you master your health. On this channel, I break down the mechanisms of the human body using scientific evidence, delivering research-backed strategies every episode so you can understand and optimize your own biology. Subscribe, and let's continue this health optimization journey together. Turn on notifications, and every time a new video drops, your science-based health knowledge takes another step forward. Until next time.